Police have not been able to substantiate Tim's or his wife's whereabouts that night.
Although they couldn't provide, specific locations where they went, we made every attempt to determine which bar or which dance hall they had gone to that night, and we were unsuccessful. They indicated that they partied from approximately midnight until 6 a.m. the following morning, none of which we were able to substantiate one way or another. So we kind of went on what he said.
Tim also told the police that 2 days before in Reno, the police became suspicious when Tim said he was looking for his mother's purse.
We again found this odd that he would attempt to retrace his mother's steps for the purpose of finding something that nobody knew was missing. On the 16th, nobody had any idea her purse was missing. But he felt a specific need to go out and look for that purse.
Yeah, oddly enough, she was found with only her purse missing. She was fully clothed, had all her jewelry. The only thing missing was her purse. They put together the fact that I said I was looking for some evidence of her purse.
Fucking ridiculous.
And the only reason I said that was because my older sister had put the idea that maybe somebody had commandeered her vehicle and stolen her purse.
Tim also drove through the parking lots of the casinos along his mother's route. He proceeded at a slow crawl through the lots of every casino, except one.
Nope.
Sometimes you get a gut feeling. You could maybe think of the Holy Spirit, if you will, just kind of guiding you. There was perhaps a feeling of keeping me away from there to save me from finding her. I thank God I didn't. Bye. It destroyed me to find her.
That casino parking lot was the very spot where Terry McClure's body would be found 2 days later, Monday, January the 17th. Police estimated that Terry had been dead since Friday, the night of Tim's wedding. Police were also puzzled by a call Tim made to cancel one of his mother's credit cards. Tim claimed he made the call on Monday, January the 17th, the day his mother's body was found. But the credit card company says he called on Friday, before his mother had disappeared.
I had reported her credit card was missing, thinking maybe that somebody had commandeered the vehicle and that her purse might have possibly been missing. I called on Monday. The woman had written down that I called on Friday, which I couldn't understand. It just didn't make any sense to me why she would mix up from a Monday to a Friday.
The credit memo for that particular company is now in the possession of the sheriff's office, and it clearly shows, according to their file, that Tim called, indicated to the recipient that his mother was dead, and the fact that his father was dead, and to please cancel the account.
It's one of the strangest things I had ever heard about, because I called on Monday, and how she could have mistaken that for a Friday, and then mixed up my words like that, saying she had been murdered. I had no idea she'd been murdered. All I knew she was missing, and that's what I told him.
We have a credit memo dated January 14th. The lady that wrote that credit memo, in her own mind, is absolutely sure that's the date she received the phone call from a person identifying himself as Tim McClure.
Hi.
6 months before Terry McClure was murdered, she'd taken out a $10,000 insurance policy on her life. Tim and one of his sisters were named as co-beneficiaries.
I didn't think my mother would take out an insurance policy. It just wasn't like her. I mean, they're thinking that I, did this for a reason. Which my share is only $5,000. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, I can't say that is the absolute motive in this case, but, I'm here to tell you that people have been killed for a lot less.
On February the 14th, 1983, Carson City Police asked Tim and his wife to take a polygraph test.
I was completely cooperative. I had nothing to hide, no reason not to take one. So naturally I said, sure, I'll take a polygraph. My wife agreed too. So it was a strange situation. When they were asking the questions, they made me close my eyes. Just a number of things are just going around through my mind. At that point, that's when I started thinking, well, geez, what if they think I did it? I'd never taken a polygraph before. I didn't know how to react.
Strongly suggest deception on both the part of Timothy McClure and his wife. They were both about those deceptions and telling them they were being deceptive. They had no answers.
I don't have the test. And I have one question, which didn't make any sense. Terry McClure was a question she was asked, and it appeared to be a lie. She said no. So it looked like cover up.
All the circumstantial evidence was submitted to the Nevada DA, but he deemed it insufficient to arrest Tim McClure. Police, family, and acquaintance, their testimony indicated that Tim had been genuinely devoted to his mother, and they believed he would never have done anything to harm her.
My mother was my best friend. I mean, all I could think of was taking care of my mother, for the rest of her life after she'd taken care of me all my life. That's the one thing I wanted to do, was take care of my mother, and I can't.
This picture of Tim and his mother was taken at his wedding on January the 14th, 1983, the night she disappeared. Someone who was in the casino or the dance hall on Lake